Now, I know some of you love DIY, do it yourself. If you're in that category, I wish you success. I wish you the best. But whatever thing I do, I like to use experts. I like to use professionals in them so that I don't go in that route two times. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Ada. I'm now a Canada-based YouTuber. I'm based in Subway, Ontario, in Canada. Yeah, guys, it's been a while. It's been ages I did this kind of video. I know I haven't been here, guys. A lot of people don't tell us how intensive it is to school in Canada. I mean, in Canada in April, and to be honest, the only time I've had time was that April. My classes resumed in May, and since May, I haven't had time to do anything for myself. It's been schoolwork, assignment, it's been classes, it's been tests, it's been this and that. It's been so intensive. I'm not complaining though, but it is what it is, and that's why I haven't been here. I haven't seen me do sit-down videos. Please do forgive me. It also hasn't been easy for me. If you're a newbie, welcome to my channel. If you're an OG, I love you guys. I love you guys. Thank you. The channel is growing, but we need to still grow, Please do share my videos, give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and let's get this channel growing. So today, like the topic of this video said, I want to give you guys a story. It's like a story time, but at the same time, it is me explaining how I got admission, my admission process, steps I took and everything, how long it took me to get admission, how long it took me to process everything and all that good stuff. That's basically what this video is all about. This video is going to come in series after this admission. I'm going to talk about the visa process in a separate video. So if you're here and you know, I bring you content, I bring you juicy premium content. So grab your popcorn, grab your biscuit, grab your Coke, and grab a notebook, guys. Yeah, grab a notebook and a pen because you're going to learn something today from this video. So let's get started. I'm so excited. Way back in 2019, to be honest, this did not start today. I didn't wake up and get admission and I'm here. No, this process started in 2019. If you know me very well, if you're an OG on this channel, you will realize that I'm very huge. I'm big on God. Like, I don't joke with God. I am about a good Christian. I like to talk about it everywhere I go. I like people to know about it as well. So I'm also spiritually inclined. I'm not hiding it. I used to be ashamed to say it, but not anymore. So in 2019, I had a dream where God told me to get started, get prepared. That I wasn't sure where God was taking me to. I wasn't sure what He wanted me to do. At that stage in my life, it was so confusing. I woke up, I told my family members, I told my mom, I told my sister. We never knew what the dream was all about or where it was going to or where we were heading to. So I had a dream. I didn't have it just once. I had it twice or thrice in that same year. So I knew this was a revelation, but I wasn't sure what I was supposed to do. And then 2020 came. Like, to be precise, my life took a 360 turn. Something I won't say it's terrible because God's blessings come in disguise. Something happened in 2020, July to be exact, and my life took a different turn. My life took a different course. At first, I was depressed, to be honest. At first, I felt bad. I never knew where I was going through. I never knew what God has in plan for me. I never knew which direction He was taking me to. But that thing happened, and my life went from this way, heading this way to this way. Like, it was a total 360 turn. So at the peak of this incident, I was asking myself, what do I do? Where do I go from here? This happened in July 2020. By August 2020, a friend of mine chatted me up. He is based in Canada. He's already a citizen. So we got talking, and while we were talking, he was like, oh, how are you doing? How's life? And something propelled me, and I opened up. I was like, oh, this is what I'm going through at this point in my life. They were like, oh, that's bad, but have you thought about moving to Canada? I'm like, Canada? where is that one coming from? I don't even have money to move to Canada. He's like, yeah, you can move to Canada if you want to. You can go through the express entry route. When you do that, you get permanent residence. I was like, oh, okay, tell me more about it. He gave me some pointers, which I started making my research about express entry. I started following a lot of Canada-based YouTubers, Canada-based Instagram influencers, and the rest of them. Guys, I invested my time and a lot of things into making my research about Canada, how I can move in through the express entry route. He said something that I have experienced. That's an added advantage. Guys, I really wanted to use the express entry. So when he told me that, I was like, oh, that's fine. So I started chasing my transcript. From my transcript, my school was taking the whole year. You guys can understand how Nigerian schools is. It took the entire 6 months. I started chasing my transcript from September, and finally my school was able to send my transcript to West for verification in January 2021, which was like almost 5 months later. West sent me a mail that they've gotten my transcript, and they're working on my verification and all that my school has been able to upload my results and my transcript to them, which was a good thing. After that, in February, I got the hard copy of the verified West, like my West certificate, to show that my result has been verified. Then in March 2021, I wrote my first IELTS for general. Guys, I didn't do well. I got a 6.5. So I was like, okay, what do I even need to get into the express entry pool? And my friend said it's a 7 minimum. It's not like 7 is what you need. People get as high as 7, 7.5, 8, 8.5, 9, band 9. But I needed a 7 to even get into the pool. I tried the second one in June, and I also got a 6.5. So at this point, I was like, no. Mind you, I follow a lot of Instagram pages. I'd read stories of people who had tried IELTS for years, for months. Some had done like 4 times, some had done like 5 times, some had done like 6 times. Just because they want to go through the express entry route, and just because they want to get a good grade. So I just knew that this is so intensive that it might not work for me. I asked the guy, okay, so what other option do I have? He said, another option you have is to come in through the student route. That it is easier, but it is capital intensive. So I can come in through the student route, and after that I'll maybe apply for PR, and after that I can, if I get PR, I can just stay. But coming in through the student route is the fastest means of coming to Canada, but it is capital intensive. Guys, follow me on this story. So that is how I was like, okay, it's cool. How do I go about it again? I went back because I had a pass in English, so I went back to school. I was like, what will I do? I started making my research. Now, guys, in this journey of coming to Canada, if you ever want to come to Canada through the student route, guys, you need to, a lot of things you need to consider, and I'm going to be listing them as I'm telling you this story, one after the other. So you just get your pen so you can be writing them. Now, because I was intentional about coming to Canada, and it was looking difficult, I looked at resources, I didn't have it. I started applying to UK. I got 2 schools in UK, which was Birmingham City University, and I got Robert Gordon's University in Aberdeen. These were the 2 schools that granted me admission in UK, but I still wasn't satisfied because in my heart of heart, I knew UK was not my calling. I'm sorry, I'm not bashing people in UK. Everyone has their choice. So I spoke to a few friends of mine. I spoke to 2 people. The other one said he has tried Canada and he had the money in his account. He got admission and he paid his school fees fully, but he got rejected during the visa process. That if I should just forget Canada, just forget Canada. That's number one thing. Guys, don't let people project their fears on you. In this journey, please do not let people project their fears on you. So when he told me to forget Canada, I became scared. So I said, okay, that is fine. I spoke to my second friend. I was like, oh, this is what I want to do. What do you think? He too said, oh, Canada, it is a good place. But I got admission sometime in Canada. I had money. I had like 9 million in my account. I did everything, and I got rejected during the visa process. That the guarantee that I can get into Canada through the student route is also not certain. Fear gripped me. I was like, okay, at this point, I don't think I want to tell anybody anything about my Canada worker anymore. So they kept pressuring me, oh, do UK, do UK, do UK. I was like, no problem, we'll do the UK thing. Guys, fast forward to 2022. I went back, I was like, okay, what can I do to boost myself? I have a pass in English. I don't know if schools in Canada are going to take me with a pass. I went back and wrote WAEC. First of all, I wrote IELTS for academics in March 2022. And after that, I went back to register for WAEC late entry, and I wrote WAEC again. This is me being intentional. Number 2 point is you need to be intentional. And when I mean intentional, you need to prove to yourself that you can do this thing. Before the WAEC period, like I registered for WAEC for May, June, and then also I had done IELTS and I got a 6.5 again in academics. I'm like, okay, they use 6.5 at this point, takes well for me. There's nothing anybody's telling me about it. Guys, so fast forward to June. I asked myself, what can I do to help myself? Because I didn't want to go through this route and make mistakes. So I started checking out the influencers, Instagram, Canada people influencers. I checked them out and I discovered that some of them, their fees to do like a one-on-one consultation with them was quite ridiculous. Some went as high as 380, 350, 400, 200. But Mrs. Joy, she used to answer Mrs. O, and then she changed her name to Joy Chooks. She's on Instagram. I'll probably put her handle somewhere. A lot of us know her. So I did a one-on-one consultation. Hers was like 56,400 I paid. And when I spoke to her, she told me one thing. She said, Ada, if you're going to come through the student route, you need to do it, get your documents correct. So for me to come through this route, I need to make sure that I'm either coming with a course that has everything to do with my career, my work life, my work experience, or I'll come with a course that has to do with my background. I left school in 2009, so my background will sound somehow coming to say I'm studying civil engineering, which is what I had in my undergraduate. So I told her I have supply chain logistics experience for 11 years. That's what I've been doing. She was like, perfect. So Canada look at two things: your background and your work experience. Then the course you're doing, is it applicable to any of these two? If it's not, bam, it's somebody rejection. So these are the things she told me they look at for, so that I should go with my work experience. It makes it easier for me to come in. I was like, oh, I know I don't want to do supply chain logistics, not because it's a big thing here in Canada, but because I want to transition into tech. That is my end goal. So I was like, okay, I have idea of something else I want to do. What other course can I go for that will fit into my long-term career goal? And I chose project management. Project management is versatile. It also somehow covers what I do as a logistics and supply chain person, even though they're not strongly related. Secondly, it covers my background, which is civil engineering. I can move into construction or I can move into tech. So I thought about it. After thinking, I was like, okay, I'll go with project management. Guys, that was how I was like, she said she was, after our consultation, she said that was on a Saturday. She said someone else was going to reach out to me on Monday. First of all, she asked me, do I think I have the money to pay the school fee, first semester school fees? Like, if I have up to 5 million naira, that we can start the process, depending on when I will get to the visa part. But if I don't have up to that amount, please and please, I should wait till when I have that amount. I was like, okay, I looked at it. I really didn't have the money. With faith though, I just thought I have the money. Guys, I thought I have the money. And that was how we started the process. On a Monday, someone reached out to me. Now, I know some of you love DIY, do it yourself. If you're in that category, I wish you success. I wish you the best. But whatever thing I do, I like to use experts. I like to use professionals in them, so that I don't go in that route 2 times. I like to go once and I will go and achieve it. It's not going 2 times. It's not me trying. If you want to try on your own, it's good. But for me, I like to use people who have gone through that route, who will direct me well. And that's why you need to make your research. Point number 3. Make your research. Not just leave an agent and leaving everything to the agent. No, make your research. Use an agent that, if you're ever going to use an agent like me, use an agent that will carry you from point A to point C. You know what the agent is doing. You know the documents the agent wants. You know what is expected of you. It's not you using an agent and you don't know the left from the right. Auntie, you go purge you. Uncle, you go purge you. So point number 3, make your research and be certain on what you want to do. So because I had made up my mind on project management, I decided that that's what I'm going for. So when they reached out to me, the agent, I was so happy. I told them it is project management. They said, okay. They gave me a form to fill. They call it eligibility form. So they gave me that form to fill. I filled their eligibility form. Now, what does the eligibility form do? You fill it. They use the eligibility form to check schools that that you meet up to their standard, so they can help you. They will not give you a list of those schools, the duration of the course, how much the school fees is, living expenses in that province, and finally the processing fee. So when I sent in my eligibility form, they asked me to pay a service fee, which I did, which was just 50k. And after that, they sent me a list of schools that I was qualified or I was eligible to apply to. Out of the school, there was Seneca College, there was Canberra College, there was, I don't know if it's Aloquin or Allogain. I will put the name of the school here. This school was also there. There was Conestoga College, and then finally there was Prince Edward College. I'm not sure Prince Edward, but I will also put the name of that college. I chose that because it was cheaper and it was like $11,000 for the entire course. I chose Seneca College. I chose Conestoga College. These were the 3 schools I chose. And finally, when my agent applied, they applied to, I think, Seneca College and Prince Edward. The other one, the Aloquin, which is this one, I really wanted to get into that school, but they couldn't get me in because of my WAEC or my HND result. One of them didn't really entirely meet the criteria, so they couldn't. So the agent called me back after they had done their application on this other two to tell me, oh, and since you couldn't get into this other one you really wanted, what do you think if you apply for you in Canberra College? Canberra College is likely to give you admission. We know that, but you just be sure that you have your school fees at hand. I was like, are you sure? They said yes. So I said, go ahead and apply. And they applied for me in Canberra College. Guys, lo and behold, the other 2 schools summoned me rejection. I can't tell why, but I got rejected. And when I saw that, I felt bad. We applied in July for May because January had ended applications. So they were rounding up with applications for January, like issuing offer letters and all that. So we now applied in that July, and by September, that's how long it took. By September, I got my first admit letter from Canberra College. My skill. Like right now, I'm so happy it worked with Canberra College, because I don't know how I would have done it. Pregnant and then living in Toronto, it would have been crazy. Yeah, it would have been crazy. I don't know. So, but I'm so happy it worked out with this school and not the other school. You see how God works. When I got my pre-admit letter on the 30th of September, I was so happy. So these are like the documents you need to apply for admission to schools in Canada. Sent a WAEC result, my school transcripts. Mind you, I already collected my transcript because I wanted to do express entry. So my school transcript, my school certificate, my CV, and my international passport. Those are the things, the documents you need for you to be able to apply for admission. If you're doing it yourself, you need your statement of purpose. But because I was using an agent who is already a partner with the school, they didn't ask me for statement of purpose. All I submitted was my transcript, certificate of my BSc or undergraduate, international passport, and my CV. But if you're doing it yourself, please add a statement of purpose. These are like the documents you need to submit when you're applying to any school in Canada. Some schools will ask you for IELTS as well. I do. I have IELTS ready, but they didn't ask me for any IELTS. Depending on the school, this was what I submitted to my agent. Fast forward to September, I got my pre-admission letter and I was asked to pay the first semester school fees complete, which I was like, okay. Mrs. O or Mrs. Joy Chooks, who I had done like a one-on-one consultation with, had in her bio that they help students pay school fees here in Canada. Another tip I want to drop is, once you get admission in schools in Canada, please guys, do not use Form A, especially if the timeline is short. Leave Form A so that Form A will leave you. Form A has cost a lot of people their admissions. I knew I was not going to use Form A. I quickly sourced for money, asked Mrs. Joy if it's something she can do for me, Joy Chooks. She was like, yeah, she can help me pay my school fees here. So I quickly sent her the money through Lemonade Finance. She converted it and she paid my school fees. My school gave me 21 days to pay my school fees and all that. But because I didn't have the money readily available, I had to source it. Now it took me a while. It took me like a week plus or so to get my fees ready. I sent to her. It took her like an entire week to get my payment done and then send me back my receipt. 5 days to the end of my deadline was when I sent to my agent. My agent uploaded. Mind you, because I was using a legit agent, every attempt they make on the school portal on my behalf, I get a mail notification. That's another thing. Please do not go and use fake agent and say, Ada told you that if you cannot do it on your own, you should go and use agent. My hands, my leg, you know they. Use a legit agent. I cannot refer you so that when anything goes wrong, you don't come back to say, I referred you. My own agent, like I said, they are called Adaku Consults. I'll put their name here. Those were the people I used. So everything they do comes back to me as a mail notification from the school, because they gave me till October 21st. 5 days before October 21st, we uploaded my school fees and all that, which I've paid. I was there waiting. 1 week, 2 weeks, nothing. By end of October, I was like, what's going on? They said I should hold on. It should come true. Either 1st or 2nd of November, I got a mail from my school to say they've revoked my admission. Now, I was wondering what is going on. I sent them a mail. It was on a Friday. I sent Mrs. O a mail as well. I was like, this is what is going on. So they took it up from my school. Or that happened on a Friday night. On a Monday, my school reinstalled my admission to say, oh, it was an error from their own end. You see why I said using Form A, it's not an option for you if your school timeline is very short. On the 5th of November, guys, I got my unconditional offer letter from my school. One thing I want to put out here is that Canberra College, as a last year, were allowing students apply directly to them. But right now, they no longer allow that for Nigerians alone. If you're a Nigerian and you want to apply to Canberra College, they have a list of agents on their website, so check it out. They have a list of agents that they use. One of them I think I know is Maple. Maple is in Port Harcourt, Maple is in Lagos, Maple is in Abuja. That is one of the people I know. Then my own agency, which I use, Adaku Consult, they work hand in hand with Canberra College. So any other agent, I don't know. Don't ask me. Don't come to my DM to ask me, because I don't know. So they sent me my unconditional offer. Something else I want to drop is, guys, when you get your unconditional offer letter, do not be in a hurry to apply for your visa. Take your time. Go through your documents. Gather your documents one after the other. Put them ready. Make sure everything is intact. Make sure your finances is intact. before you attempt applying for visa. I got my offer letter, unconditional offer letter, on the 5th of November, and I applied for my visa on the 4th of January 2023. That is exactly 3 months later. Guys, I was not in a hurry because I have watched, like, I've done a lot of research on how this Canada thing works, and I know I am not willing to go through this route 2 times. Make your research. Make your research on everything. School, no, visa application. Another thing I want to talk about is join groups. I joined a lot of community on Telegram. I joined Canberra College on their group on Telegram. I joined Nigeria Express Entry group. I joined a lot, traveling with kids. I joined a whole lot of groups on Telegram. I joined Mrs. O's group on Telegram. I joined Olu of Canada, his group on Telegram. These groups will help you, give you pure information if you want to do this thing on your own. I didn't want to do it on my own, but I had to join the group so that when my agent is telling me something, me too, I get knowledge about that. I know what to tell him. I know how to answer him. It's not I'm ignorant of it. Anything he says is what I will do. No. Do your research. I cannot overemphasize it. Do your research. Do your research. Canada is research based. If you don't do this research, you might likely not get the right answer. You might likely get rejections. So please do your research. That is it. So after I got my admission on the 5th of November, I just knew that I had to start gathering money for my visa. I had to start gathering my documents and all that, and that was what I did. And then in January 2023, I was able to apply for my visa. This will be another video on its own. Basically, what I wanted to come here and tell you guys is the process and the timeline of how it took me to get admission here in Canada. Guys, like I said, that is what this video is all about. So I hope you learned 1 or 2 things. Number 1 is be intentional what you want to do. Number 2 is don't let people project their fears on you. Number 3 is do it scared. Do it scared, it will work. Number 4 is do your research. Please do your due diligence. Do the underground work so you don't get caught unawares. Then 5 is join groups. Join a lot of groups, communities in Telegram. It will help you. Naira Land, I was always visiting Naira Land to read up a lot of things and all that. And I followed a lot of people on Instagram. I followed their stories. I read people's stories. I did a whole lot of investment. Then finally, if you can't do it yourself, please invest in a legit agent, because it will save you a lot of time, it will save you a lot of stress, it will save you a lot of forth and back. So these were the things I did that worked for me and how I got my admission. In my next video, I'm going to talk about the visa process, what I did, documents I submitted, how long it took me to get my visa. It will shock you guys. If you can, guys, let me know in the comment section. It will shock you guys. And everything involved in my visa process, that will be coming up in the next video. So for now, let me know your thoughts about the admission thing. Do you want to school in Canada? What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What is your own opinion about doing it yourself or using an agent? Let me know also in the comment section. Guys, I hope you learned 1 or 2 things from this video. Yeah, it is what it is, and I'll see you guys. Please, if you're a new subscriber, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. If you are an OG, please give me the thumbs up and let me know your opinion in the comment section, and also share my videos because I feel it will help some other people out there. Above all, I love you guys, and I will see you guys in my next video. I love you. Peace. I love you.